Good evening, everyone. Honorable Sports Minister, my colleagues, and some esteemed sportsmen in the audience. I don't have to introduce the gentleman on my right. We have seen him perform for India, win matches, especially the 2003 World Cup game against England is still vivid. And we had a conversation that evening. It was one unforgettable day. And Ashish has been my Delhi mate, but now he's a Goan. I don't know how many of you would know that he now lives in Goa, and he's been here for the last 7 years. Welcome, Ashish. We have met and spoken so many times in Delhi, but first time in Goa. Now, how do you, what would you say about your experience in Goa so far? You've been here for almost 7 years.
Good evening, everyone. It's been great, and like you just mentioned that I have moved 7 years back, but before that, Goa is a place I've been coming for good 20 years, 25 years. But yeah, last 7 years, no complaints, have been fantastic. I don't spend that much time here, I would love to. As much time as I can, I'll try to spend here with family commitment and all that. But it has been great place, and less traffic. I mean, I can't see that in last 4-5 years, especially North Goa, it's been more and more crazier. So, but that's India or that's world everywhere. But so far it has been great. Kids love it. I love it. Like I just said, whenever I can, I just run back home. I mean, anybody would love to run back home, but I just try even more or make it extra effort even for a day because it's Goa.
Yeah, but what brought you to Goa? Delhi is such a nice place.
Simple answer, my wife. See, like I just said, I always like Goa, and in Delhi, I'm not that sort of a person, and wife is also, she grew up outside India. So after kids, we wanted little quieter place and less traffic, and come from Delhi now, or not Delhi, around Delhi or even Bombay, big cities, when you talk about so much pollution. So she was very keen to stay in a place where there's less hectic and less polluted, and it really worked for us.
Do you have any cricketing memories from Goa?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds funny. I'm someone who didn't play too much under 16, under 19, and that much junior cricket, started playing very late. But I came to Goa first time 1994 to play one under 16 game at Panjim Gymkhana. So that was the first trip, and after that for good 8-10 years I didn't come. But then again it started. So that was my first memory, and Goa has, or like any other state or any other city, has changed a lot since then, but it's very fresh in my mind, you know, although it was long time back.
Yeah, and how much are you aware of the cricket in Goa? I mean, I just saw somebody coming and talking to you about the local cricket.
Not that much, to be very honest, with my commitments and all that, although my house is next to GCA, Porvarim, which is a lovely ground. But now, yeah, see, Goa, we have seen players earlier also played IPL, and Goa has been doing better and better when you talk about things like Ranji Trophy, which is a great site. And going forward, you can only hope that there'll be more grounds, more facilities. And see, here we are discussing a sport like cricket, which whenever you talk, and especially with someone, the people, they play other sport, majority of them, and I can understand that why they might envy or, you know, they don't like cricket that much, because they also feel that they are working so hard, but they don't get that much recognition, and, you know, platform is not there. And here I'm talking about cricket, and still I'm saying, because you are talking about Goa. But again, I'm very hopeful that going forward, things will get better. There are grounds. And again, in the end, I am a firm believer that if there's a will, there is a way. And that comes from the sports person himself, or, you know, either he or she, whatever you're talking about. We can't say that, you know, infrastructure is not there. That's why players are not coming in any sport. We were sitting outside and we were discussing Saina Nehwal or Sandhu or Neeraj Chopra. They are also come from a sport, and they have done so well. So you have to have that desire, and then you will definitely find a way. Yes, authorities or whoever people are in charge, they always try to do it. But as a sports person, my suggestion to youngsters or people, they are trying to make it. Everybody is not going to make it, and I don't know the language of, or what you call success, or what you call as a parent or friend make it. But things are getting better, there is no doubt about it, in India, and not only Goa, everywhere, I would say.
Yeah, and Ashish, Goa football has a very special place in Goa, and you are a big football fan. So
Yeah,
can you
I
just
mean,
tell us about?
that's why I didn't play much junior cricket because I used to play soccer a lot. And when you talk about soccer in Goa, it's a great culture. And see, again, soccer is one thing is for sure. You just need one ball and few friends, and little paddy field or either ground, anywhere you can play. You know, it comes from all those things also matters. Like when you talk about South America, there also when if there's no facilities, that's why people they play more soccer. You know, it's easy. When you talk about a sport like cricket or when you talk about tennis or when you talk about squash, you need amenities. And it's a great sport. And in the villages, when I see people playing any sport, not soccer and everywhere, not only in Goa, Goa I'll say more, is such a great feeling that, you know, those kids, they are actually, they want to play. They are not there playing, they want to play soccer for India or play Barcelona, Real Madrid. Yes, as a kid, you do have dreams, but they are actually enjoying among friends, which is great. After playing soccer, I've seen them, they are doing cycling. You know, so that also again a great sport, and Goa is a great place to do cycling.
Yeah.
So you have to see positive side of it, and it's been fantastic to see kids here around in the villages, and sometimes whenever I get time, I also play with them.
Good. And I've seen you, Yuvraj, Zair Khan, argue a lot about English football. So which is your favorite team, and how many times would you beat them?
I am not someone to, I mean, I lost my soccer touch from last few months because, I mean, few years I would say, not months, maybe I would say good 8-10 years. Now, but you have taken these names, I'm sure they must be following some teams. I don't follow any team, but lots of my friends, whenever I am watching any soccer game here and there little, they all support Manchester United. So I don't support any team, but I'm definitely against United. So, and in India again, whatever you see on TV, now you see more soccer or any other sport, but maybe if I'm not wrong, English Premier League people follow the most. Maybe they do marketing well and they show more. So it become a fashion also that I follow English Premier League. You know, I know so many people, they don't even know anything about Manchester United or anything about soccer. But because they are on social media, so they are following Manchester United or some XYZ soccer club because their friends are following. So my thing is, if you like kabaddi or you like kushti or you like squash, you do that. You don't need to do because somebody else is doing it.
Yeah. And I'll take you back to cricket. Did you ever imagine it would become such a big sport that it is today? I mean, when you started, when you played your first test match or first one day international, first World Cup.
I mean, that time you will never think. But even see, we are sitting here in 2024 and 10 years down the line, if me and you are alive, who knows, we are talking again. And then you say, do you ever thought that cricket is going to be even more bigger? Or, you know, because sport is going forward. Cricket is just an example. But yes, in this country with our population, cricket is like when you talk about soccer in Brazil or Argentina. So it's become a religion, or rugby in New Zealand. So which is a great thing, but I would like to see that more and more other sports and more people are coming and playing. Not only cricket, everybody wants to be a cricketer, unfortunately. Our majority, I would say, not everyone. So that has to change. But see, at least for other sports also, there is always hope that if cricket can be like that, other sports also can be like that. So there has to be some stepping stone. And if cricket is that one, so be it. But it has to be cricket or the people around cricket, they have to take not only this sport, other sport also forward, then only it will be a great addition, I would say. But coming back to your question again, yeah, it's great to see. And going forward, right, yes, when things goes like this and goes rapidly, so there are pros and cons of that. So majority of the things when you talk about T20 cricket, when you talk about the way finances have come, I would say 99.999% things are good, which are great not only for the sport, for the country.
Yeah, and you were quick to adapt to white ball after having played a lot of red ball cricket. So how could you manage that? I mean, if you can share for the young cricketers today.
I mean, I don't think so. It comes with anything, with experience, with time. And one thing is for sure, you have to play that format. You know, when these days you will see so many people, they have not played that much test cricket or first class cricket, or their interest is not there in red ball cricket because they hear more IPL. So many kids I meet when they are 8, 10, 12, 14, they say secondly that they want to play for India, first they want to play IPL. Because they see that, they hear the finances, especially when you are that age of 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's going to happen. But if they play Ranji Trophy, they want to play for India, or even, see, once you start playing slowly, more often than not, a majority of the kids, they understand that we have to play red ball cricket if we want to play for India, or we have to play 50 over white ball cricket if we want to do well. So they will get awareness over a period of time, and I was no different. When we started playing, there was no T20. Now there's a T10 also.
Yeah.
Right, and I played my T20 game when IPL first started in 2008. I was nearly 30. So I adapted. So these kids will also adapt, and it's not that when you see Test cricket that India is not doing well. Still, there are people, they are looking to play Test cricket, and with the experience, you will learn. I mean, very few examples you will see that they lost it in between because of this T20 cricket. But as a sports person or as a human, I think we know how to adapt, and I was no different, you know, and that playing that domestic cricket and playing that Ranji Trophy with the red ball always helped.
And was managing injuries a big challenge for you? Because when he would always tell me, अगर मुझे ढूंढना है पहले come to the physio's room or then to my room. So how did you manage that? I mean, with such punishing your body and then still coming back next day and bowling.
It wasn't easy, and again, not only me, injuries are part and parcel of sports person's life, and with me they were a little bit more. And that point of time in young age, I was definitely cursing or thinking why it's only me and I'm getting injured. But if you ask me now, it's been 7 years, I've retired also. So out of 10 injuries, there were 7 injuries, I made them bad. You know, with your experience, and you learn hard way. I'm someone, I learned hard way. You know, when you're young, that time you feel that, okay, it's fine. So you don't put that much hard yards in to get fit also, because majority of the injuries, yes, when you get a surgery done or when you're a muscle tear or anything, right, it's done, and after that, surgeon can only do the surgery. It's your hard work, how much rehab you will do. By the time I realized this, or I realized that, it was little late, but better late than never. I did manage to stretch my career longer, but I wish that I would have learned little quicker or earlier. But now these days there are more physios, more trainers, more awareness. There's so much social media, which I'm not a big fan of, but there's so many good things also, which people learn from there, and kids have that access and awareness, which is great. And I will not say I regret it, but I would take it that I learned a lot with those mistakes. And my injuries could have been less, but some of them were freakish, and some of them I also made it worse.
Yeah. And there have been legendary friendships in sports, cricket also. Very few people would know that you, Zahir, Harbhajan, VVS Lakshman, and Yuvraj. You five were a fabulous group, the other Fab Five, which people didn't know. And there, at times I've seen all of you five in one room. You would sleep, eat on the floor. Your friendship was very little known outside the cricket team. But I'm very keen to know, how did you manage to have a friendship with Zahir Khan when you were both competing for the same place?
Yeah, I mean, but like earlier said, it should be healthy competition, you know, and competition is always good. And you mentioned Zahir Khan, we played together for so many years, and if you're doing well, there is always a spot. It's not, I'm not going to bowl from both the ends, you know. So you need people around you, and see, that's what team sport teaches you. Individual sport teaches you different things. Team sport teaches you this unity, and you're not going to get along with everyone as much as you will with other few. And that happens even in families, and we were no different. And not only these five, there's so many other names also, but like there's a squad of 15, 17 in the evening, there are 5 or 6 together in one room, so that team is definitely doing well. Because in the evening, like 33% people sitting in one room chit-chatting and eating, so that's the great thing, because in a pressure environment, or when you talk about team meetings and all that, you can only discuss that much. First thing first, that you have to understand each other, how he or she thinks, then you can help each other. And over a period of time, pretty much, like I said, I was no different. We all learned, and learned hard way also. So it has been a great journey, and till today, it's still the same.
Yeah. And how often do you get to meet Viru now?
Now I meet him more when we are doing broadcasting, because with my traveling schedule, and I don't go to Delhi that often, and he's someone who doesn't leave Delhi that often, as you know. So I meet him more when we are in Bombay doing broadcasting. But still, quite a bit. World Cup, we were together for good 6 weeks.
Yeah, he was your driver, right, when you were growing up in Delhi?
Still, he does sometimes.
Yeah. Because Viru would go to his house, pick him up, and then they would go to the Kotla ground together on a two-wheeler. And he still has a two-wheeler.
I mean, now I have a bicycle, even better.
Yeah. So, and Ashish, about IPL, a couple of questions. What are the reasons that it has grown so big? I mean, such a league in the richest league in the world, cricket league, one of the richest otherwise, and now you're part of it. I could never imagine you as a coach.
A lot of people, I mean, myself, I never thought that I'll be able to do any kind of coaching, and people around me, they still joke till today, right? Because as they all know, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. But when you talk about IPLC, first thing first, the biggest stakeholders are the fans. We have a population of 1.5 billion, and when you talk about America, you know, there's so many sports like basketball or American football or baseball. They don't look outside America. You know, they have enough inside America. So India is no different now. India is also going that route or gone that route. And people were following IPL. And everybody is dying to come and play IPL. Not only because of the finances. Yes, that is an important part for all the players. But the kind of level it is here. You know, we have seen other leagues also, they have been doing great. There's no doubt about it. Like in soccer, there are so many leagues, but when you talk about top leagues, you talk about English Premier League or La Liga. And at least here in soccer, I have taken two names. But when you talk about T20 cricket, people take first name IPL, which is great. And it's all because of the fans and the way people love sport here. And it's a religion. Like I have seen people like AB de Villiers or people like Chris Gale. And when they are playing for RCB, so the whole Bangalore is supporting them. Even if there's an Indian bowler bowling from other franchise, they don't support them. So which is great for any sport. And again, when you talk about IPL, majority of the people, they discuss only finances. It's not only money. There's so many good things happening around that. You know, like one is you see people playing on the field, their career, but there's so many other jobs have been created because it's like when people watching movie, it's finished in an hour and a half, 2 or 2.5 hours. But to make that movie, you know, there's so much work people have done behind the stage and behind the screen. So here also is the similar thing. And it's a great product. And going forward, let's hope that it takes not Indian cricket only, Indian sport in a way, this can go forward and forward.
And RCB is yet to win a title, and you win a title on your debut. How do you attribute? I mean, what were the reasons?
I mean, not as a player also,
Yeah.
I played for 6-7 years, played few finals and you lose. So, I mean, there are 10 teams, only one is going to win and only 2 are going to play finals. And I believe everybody get different things. Any team or any individual, they get different things in their life, but everybody can't get everything.
Yeah. So, how do you handle pressure? Is it different in an IPL and different when you're playing for India?
I mean, different thing. And when you ask, I'm a coach now. So the first thing, the most difficult thing I would say is to play. So the people they are playing on the field, they are more under pressure than me. I'm sitting outside chilling.
Yeah.
So, and when you talk about handling the pressure as a coach, so I'm not coaching no soccer team or whatever little bit I know the sport, I'm doing only that. So I'm used to it again. It just comes with your experience. And I did a little coaching earlier with RCB 1 or 2 years. That really helped going forward. And with this new team, it has been great. And more than, see, when you talk about word coaching, one thing is you're talking about people batting, bowling and fielding. That is one thing majority of these players, when you talk about international cricket, when you talk about IPL, they know. That's why they have reached there. They all are good. They belong there. And pretty much on the field, when there's a practice, you talk about all these techniques and all that. But I firmly believe in that you can teach them or you can share or you can give your suggestions off the field. You know, you just discuss life. And I always try to do, or our team or support staff try to do with the boys when they are young. If you can teach them something or give them some suggestions that they don't make mistakes. And I'm someone who never feel bad or shy at saying that I have made these mistakes. I understand I was also 20, 22, 24 at once upon a time. I have made these mistakes, don't go that route. You know, but still if there are few examples, they will still go that route and they will learn hard way. That's different.
So, do you like to correct them in the dressing room, or take him aside later and then talk to him individually?
Again, I mean, that depends. You have different relationship with different players and different environment. The first thing first, what I have learned a little bit in coaching, that you have, or not in coaching, anywhere in life, that all the players are different. Everybody thinks differently. All the humans are different. So, if I'm in charge to help someone or to look after someone, so I have to operate with everyone differently.
So is it about coaching or man management?
I would say both. Uh, uh, when you talk about international cricket, you are together for 9 months. When you talk about a tournament like IPL, you are together for 2.5 months, 2 months. So and there are lots of experienced players, there's more man management with them. And when you talk about young people, then it's both.
Yeah. And you have watched Virat from absolutely when he was, 12-year-old. And now that he's grown into such a phenomena, what do you expect from him more? I mean, what would make you happy? What should Virat do?
Again, see, he should, first thing first, he should do what he feels like doing it, right? And you will meet so many people, they will judge right or wrong, that's secondary. And and I'm hoping he's doing that. Now he's a father, and see, when you talk about somebody like Virat Kohli, when you see him play, the most important thing and the thing which really stands out for me, that he enjoys the game. Now he's not playing, he enjoys scoring runs, he enjoys to be on that field. Until the time he is doing that, he should be doing that. If he can play with his fitness or anybody's fitness, it's not that only he is the one or he is the only one who does training. People like Ravinder Jadeja, you see, people like Shami, they all have been playing for so many years and they have been doing so well. Till the time they are doing well, till the time they are fit, they should keep doing that. Because when you talk about somebody like Virat Kohli, when he's scoring runs, when he's at the pitch, he is like a kid. Till the time you feel that way, you can keep up with that, you should be doing that. Because everybody wants to see Virat Kohli to play as much or as long as possible, and I hope he will do that.
And Ashish, how come India now has such an army of fast bowlers, like the West Indies once upon a time?
See, again, IPL definitely I give credit to also in this, because now you have more platform. Earlier, when there was no IPL, you talk about domestic cricket, you talk about a little bit of when any touring team coming, you play 1 or 2 games. And if you keep going, olden days, as you will know way more than me, that there were very less games. Right? So there are so many people, they took so many wickets in first class cricket, they scored so many runs, but they never played even in India a game. Now you have more opportunity, even when, like fast bowlers, they are 17, 18, 19, they can be spotted. They have not played for domestic cricket, they have not played for India, nowhere close, but they have played for some IPL team. So now, when there is a talent, it will come forward, and then National Cricket Academy is there, game is going forward, and that's, of course, cricket is way more faster or rapidly compared to other sports, but it's happening all the sports, and going forward, let's hope it's only going to get better. So now when you see all the time, if Indian team is playing in England, there is simultaneously India A team is there. Similar, anywhere you go, New Zealand, there's a under 19 World Cup is going on. So there's so many more avenues, there's so many more platforms. So kids are getting more opportunity, and there's a prime example of that.
Right, a couple of questions more. Does it hurt you that India is not winning ICC titles? We come so close, play the finals, and yet, we know that we are a good team, what happened in the last World Cup. And then one bad day.
It's not only me, for everybody, I'm showing. The people players, the people they're playing there, they will be the most gutted, and we had such a great World Cup. And when it comes to ICC trophies, see, we can't be desperate. Yes, the way Indian team is playing, main thing is people will go with results. Everybody looks at results. Till the final, we were playing really good and lost the final. And imagine if you would have reached the finals, losing 3 games and win the final, then people will forget those 3 games because everybody is going with results. So we have to be patient, and the way team is playing last few years, we clearly see that we are on a rise and Indian team is doing well. And I don't think so ICC trophy is very far. We shouldn't be judging, or we can't judge anybody with say only World Cups or ICC events. It's not that India has never won. Yes, now you compare with Australia, okay, they have won 4 or 5, we have won 2, we should. So things changes very quickly, and now these days, so there's so many World Cups coming now, T20 World Cup after every 2 years. So in last, I'm sure looking at the calendar, 2030, India should have another 2 ICC trophies, and that will happen. It's not far. But we don't need to be desperate, and we don't need to judge team only winning by ICC event, because there's so much other cricket also happening around.
Right.
But of course, people, they are playing there, and the way this year team was playing at home, you will feel for a long time maybe, but with time things heals.
Right. And one final question, how do you look at Test cricket? Because it's struggling. It's a fact. Because there are more sponsors for white ball, more audience for a white ball, and broadcasters want white ball. So Test cricket, how do you look at it?
See, again, it's a human nature. if you give things everyone faster, then nobody would like to, wait and watch for that long. I love Test cricket. I still have, again, everybody's life, there will be so many regrets or maybe things they feel could have done better. I am no different when it comes to Test cricket. I had so many injuries. And I still feel when you play Test cricket, when you watch Test cricket, is still the ultimate for me. Yes, T20 cricket, 50-over cricket, also they have their space. It's not that 50-over cricket is not great or T20, everything is good, but Test cricket should be there. Like you said, it's struggling, or some people, they say it's dying. I don't think so. That you have to choose that what kind of series you want to plan when it comes to ICC Future Tour programs. That they have to be careful, smart, and I'm sure they are trying to do things. Sitting here and holding the mic is easier thing because I'm not part of the ICC, so I don't know how they make all these fixtures and all that. But whenever you see India, Australia playing, India, England playing, yes, there are few countries there. So that's why when teams like Sri Lanka, they do well in Test cricket. Or I'm a big fan of Afghanistan team, not only white ball cricket. I think that is one team, they have all the talent in this world when it comes to play Test cricket also. So whatever problems they have in their country, just keep it separate and just try, let them play a few more Test matches. So that's how it's going to go forward. Because when you talk about a sport like tennis or golf or soccer, there are more people they play. When you talk about cricket, yes, Italy is also playing, China is also playing, but those are associate nations. Main are those 8-10 teams. Around that, ICC should definitely look at to WTC have started. And things will get better. Like you were just saying struggling, or lots of people I just mentioned, they said Test cricket is dying. But when it comes to a thrilling series, everybody is watching.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And you will be surprised there's so many young kids also they watch. Other thing is the responsibility of media, as always, you know better, or broadcasters, that they keep showing Test cricket also. And when you talk about T20 cricket, yes, it finishes in 3 hours. Who knows, now T10 have started, right? So there'll be more and more viewership of T20 and T10 because everybody wants that quick fix. But there are still die-hard fans when it comes to 50-over World Cup. We have seen this year. And Test cricket also no different. Yes, difficult to fill all 5 days unless you are playing in England or Australia. India is also like that it doesn't fill all 5 days. But when you play in Bombay, when you play in Calcutta, when you play in Chennai, these big centers, or in Kanpur, we still see 3-4 days out of 5 days good crowd. So that's still a great hope. And let's hope it's the way, because Test cricket should here to stay. Lots of time I have heard the debate or discussions that is Test cricket here to stay. Yeah, so it should stay. I mean, I am no judge and I don't know it will stay or no. According to me, it will stay, it should stay, and it's very, very important for the game. And the people, they understand the game as you, players also I'm talking about, as you get experience, as you get older, they are playing Test cricket, they are really loving it or enjoying it, and the people, they have missed the boat, they also regret it and they come to know. Some of them are like me, they played few Test matches because of the injuries, but those days, I used to value Test cricket and I still do. And let's hope going forward, it's all about awareness. Like I just said, either a broadcaster, either a sponsor, either BCCI, or either former players, we all are here. So we'll try to do whatever best we can do, but it's the ultimate format and I really loved watching it. I can't play anymore. Would love to play, but legs are not allowing.
Finally, the difference between Ashish Nehra, the player, and Ashish Nehra, the coach.
In coaching, I think as a player, I just try to keep it simple because sometimes when you retire in like 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years time, any sport or anything in life, things they change. But often I have seen people, either when you're broadcasting or when you're coaching and they have played the games, so then they feel that game is easy. They can be harsh at time. So I just try to keep that balance. Or whenever I'm talking to any player, I'm not talking as a coach only, I'm talking as a brother or talking as a player. Because we are there, when you talk about support staff, when you're talking about coach, is there to help the players. And just try to keep it simple.
Thank you, Ashish. It's been a lovely evening. Can we take a couple of questions? Is it okay with you?
Okay. So, Ashish, since we are talking about at home in Goa, I just wanted to know, so what's cooking at home these days? Is it still butter chicken and aloo paratha, or is it vindaloo and kaffrel these days?
First thing first, for that I have to stay at home little longer, but everything from butter chicken, aloo, and that's why I was keeping it veg.
I have a question for Ashish. top personalities are making Goa their homes. So could they give some effort and try to help the local scene? I mean, if the sports personalities are coming here, can they give little time and give some boost to that particular sport and overall sports scenario?
See, first thing first, I don't know which top personalities you are talking about. And,
Including yourself, of course.
So I don't know. But like I said, yeah, they should. And not only in Goa, wherever you live, when you talk about, see, that's what, when we talk about team sport and when you talk about community living, sports unites everyone together. And Goa, even in small villages, I have seen panchayats have done so much when you talk about a soccer stadium, or I have seen tennis courts also. Behind my house, there's a best panchayat ground I have seen, that Salvador Di Mundo. They have done a fantastic job. And whenever I can contribute a little bit, I'd also try to do it. And they should do it. Or not only top personalities. Yes, let's say if you are talking to someone who is related to that sport or that business, they should definitely do it. There's no two ways about it. And I always try to do whatever little bit I can do.